All right, do we start?
You're the leader, bro.
All right, bet. All right, so we're gonna start with TPO. We're gonna start with the profiles. I mean, I showed the profiles are the same as the volume profiles, but just the same, so you guys get the same idea. So to start off, kind of have the balance profile, the bell curve. This is kind of like the standard one. There's gonna be like little boxes or little letters like this. Let's see if I can make them so you guys get the idea. Like that, just something like that. And each box is 30 minutes, right? So this is a bell curve. This means price was most likely in a range in consolidation. It's fairly simple. Play off these shelf, ledge, again, ping pong back and forth. That's a balance profile. Just like this. Now we got the trending profile, which kind of looks like more like a stick, to be honest. It's got a little bit of volume everywhere, but it's sort of like trying to build value, but it doesn't work. So it's like maybe a little bit consolidate, we expand, a little bit more consolidation, again we expand, just something like this. Almost like a market maker model for those who trade ICT. Something fairly like that. We consolidate for a bit, and then we expand or create an imbalance. Just again, range, discovery, range, discovery. It's really simple. And then let's see, what else do we have? We have the double distribution. Again, it's just two bell curves, but on one candle or one balance. So like this. Again, crazy. You can say, like, for an example, New York AM, we're just consolidating, and then during lunch, kind of expand. We're going discovery mode, and then once lunch is done, during PM we just range again, and again you'd use these extremes, and that's basically what you'd play off of. On the TPO, instead of actually, no, I'll explain that later. First, let's finish with this. All right, and then we got the P profile, like an upper balance. So like a little bit like a volume, right? And this should look like something like open. We just expand. We're just consolidating at the top. This is kind of like a bullish profile. And then we have the B. Again, same idea, but just a bearish example. We expand lower, and then we just create balance, just consolidating. And that's about it for the profiles, to be honest. Not much to explain. You guys can watch the volume profile video. I also I cover the profiles, and they're both the same, so. Alright. I'm gonna go kind of like explain what confluences come from the TPO. So first, I'm gonna start with the poor high and poor low. I used to think that if there's like two periods, like for example, up one and like many letters to the side, as many as you want, that'd be an unfinished auction. But derk clarified that it's kind of a misconception. It's like the same thing, but it's actually just a poor high or a poor low. That's it. And then we have, let's see, single prints. Single prints are kind of found and you could see double distributions. They're seen a lot better. Something like this, where you just like expand like that. Single prints, you can either price can fill them quickly, again, just expand again, or we could just tap the bottom or top and reject immediately. So like, try these out. Go like this and go up higher, reverse, maybe come back again to fill all this, or we just completely fill them and start trading at the bottom balance, just like this. And then let's see, what else do we have? We have a ledge. They're all fairly simple. Again, let's see, just a balance. You could see, let's say if we had letters right here, it's a bunch of A's, right? you want to have at least 2 letters diagonally. Just A, and that's a ledge. I think, not 100% sure, but the more, the better. You guys can ask the derk that. He's a little more better with TPO. But yeah, that's a ledge, and then let's see what else. What else is there to cover? I think that's fairly simple. I would teach overnight or like overnight inventory, but I have no idea what that really is. To be honest, I've never looked into it. But yeah, then you have your POC, your val high, your val low. Those are all calculated from like the time we spend, the range, how high, how low. You guys know that. I think that's pretty simple, to be honest. That's really it for like confluences on TPO. But let's go on the charts real quick to show you guys. Let me switch tabs real quick. Let's see, put this over here. All right, there you go. Let me delete these real quick, just so you guys can see. All right, so for example, right now, this profile, we have like X's at the bottom, but you can see prices coming down to right here. You also want to see low volume with X's. And right now, if you would have a level like somewhere here, you could long off it. Of course, you'd have confirmation with it. But right now, you'd have two confluences stacked. So you got X's and a VP level. And then if you do get confirmation, you got the DOM. Easy long. Let's see. You can maybe long up to 65, 64, 63. You could say like this shelf, but this wasn't really respected. Or you could just like long to your other level, play ping pong. And then we have single prints. If we expand this one, you can see we opened right here. First we came like a little up, and then we came down and we filled these single prints fast. We didn't kind of like consolidate only after we filled them. We consolidated in here. Let's see if I remember there was one example. Trying to find an example before we reject. So give me a sec. I think this still counts. Alright, well regardless, you could see we have like one single print. I wouldn't really count it, but there's no other examples to show you guys. We have a single print and we just come up to it, we reject it, and we dump immediately. That's the only 2 ways you can really trade single prints. Let's see, let's look for, okay. Guess we have like no, okay. We have no poor lows. Alright, never mind, right here. You can see right here we have a poor low. We made this. We haven't filled it yet, but that'd be a point of interest for later. If we end up dumping lower, that'd be one point of interest. All the way down here. And for most of like when I'm trading, I'm looking for poor lows or anything to like make my bias. That's why I always say that I use TPO for more of a bias than for levels. Like for example, let's see, this day, I think, so we were in ranging in here. Let me see if it was this one. Yeah, it was right here actually. We have a poor low down here, and we have a poor high. And I kind of wanted to see us go down first, and then go up and fill these, or fill the poor high. And these aren't like rejection points or anything. So these aren't like, you can't just use it as a level. Most likely you'll like just pass through it. So let's see, let's find a ledge. Okay. Right here, you can see it's more than 2 periods. Well, it's 3. Let's expand it, and let's see. We have, again, 3 periods where we just like reject it off right here. So this makes it a ledge. You guys can use it with confirmation. I personally don't use ledges or anything off the TPO. I just use it for bias. Most people don't want to learn TPO, but I think it's a lot better just for biases, not for levels. And then also you guys can go like on a higher time frame, like a weekly. Let's see if it loads. Let's see. You guys can use these ledges from weekly. It's gonna play out a lot better. Let's see. Let's see for like the extremes you want to play. Maybe like they won't even load anymore. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can. Nines. All right, there you go. You guys could use that, and then if we expand this, clearly got disrespected, but then we came back into it. This is like right now. You guys could have longed off this confirmation footprint, but Dom, whatever, could have longed that. Then same here, a ledge right here. It's like a little balance. So this would be like kind of the extreme. And look, almost bottom ticks, top ticks, perfect levels. Let's see, maybe up here. It's too. I would use the ledges when it's like a clear balance. This is kind of like there's not enough volume to it. Because you can see these kind of work out a little more better. It's a little more clear balance. Again, you can see the reactions we get. If we go back again, let's see. No, we didn't even come down that bad. But yeah, that's mainly how I use TPOs. And then for the 4-hour, I'll only use the 4-hour to see balances. As you can see here, I marked this balance out because you can see we're ranging up and down. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. For the high, I was kind of dictating where I'd put it, and I decided to put it here because you can see we have a little low. We have a lot of lows like rejection. Right here, again, we're just constantly rejecting. And then again, we just expanded all the way up. And let's see if we create a new balance. We did not create a new balance, and price is kind of already coming down into here. We kind of did accept into a bit, not that much. So you could have had like a bearish bias coming into the day, looking to get in here, and then after you saw like we didn't accept in the range, you could have just gone bullish again. And that's about it. That's really it. I don't use TPO for anything else. All right, anything you want to add on? Yash, Derk, Oswald.
Not
Hey,
me.
bro.
Anything you want to add on?
I wasn't listening to
I forgot what I was
any
gonna
of the-
say.
I think
Yeah,
it was
not
very
gonna lie, I
good.
wasn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah, good work, bro.
Yeah, great value here. So like, we'll just
Yep.
watch the video.
I'd buy a
again, like,
mentorship.
watch it 2-3 times.
Yep, I'd buy Eric's
Hey,
mentorship.
shut
Yeah,
up.
get his
Shut up.
mentorship. Pay him like
Shut up.
300 each.
Shut
I already
up.
did.
Nah, let me add on, bro. Shut up.
Yeah, let
None of
Derk
your
talk.
words. Yeah, so I seen there's a few questions, but a big misconception is most of the time a lot of people ask if like this is better than that when it comes to like time frames or things like that. Or if it's like better to use TPO, market profile, or volume profile, and most of the time there's really no better, unless you're obviously using like a 1-hour profile compared to like a full day. But if you're asking like questions like those, you need to test and find your own style. It really depends on like what you like. There are sometimes certain things that are obviously going to be better, but most of the time the questions asking about if something's better, there really isn't. You just need to learn how to test and then journal and then find find what works for you really. Trying to search for something that's better is just going to be wasting your time instead of actually putting in the effort into finding what works for you, because something that will work for me is not going to work for everyone. So I think everybody should just understand that.
Order flow is very discretional. Again, like what Dirk was saying, what works for him might not work for you guys. So you guys need a journal, take notes, do what you like. You're getting fucking moved. All right, fuck Oswald. Anyways, AJ, you wanna say something, AJ? You guys can ask
Nice.
questions right now. Ask questions in the meantime. That's about it. TPO's as simple as that.
Don't overcomplicate it. It's pretty easy.
So a guy asked me in DMs. He said, "Okay, so is TPO like draw on liquidity?" So what do you have to say about that?
TPO is
Sure.
not a draw on liquidity. What do you mean?
some of them, sure, you could say. Like when you're looking for targets like single prints,
Well, I mean, yeah.
highs,
So like a
like this one's
bias.
like guess that's a draw on liquidity, but it's the same concept. Like they have the same meaning behind it. But
Any questions?
yo, Bugty, you're Indian, bro. I don't want to hear it.
All right. Wait, did you just join, Kian? Cause James is recording. He's gonna post it on YouTube. Yo, K Husa, I don't know how to say it to be honest, but Dirk just explained to you there's no better one. You kind of just need to see what works best for you.
Bro, when Oswald gets put on. Yeah, 'cause I'm better than you.
Yeah,
Yo,
also.
Dirk, you sound a lot like RJ.
Yo, shut up, bro.
Like I thought I was getting bished by RJ.
No, you're getting moved out again, Oswald.
So in terms of like when you're looking at historical data, like how far back you should look, personally, I'll look as far back as needed. Obviously, there's some scenarios like where you really don't have a choice, like when tariffs came in and we were just straight dumping. You don't really have a choice but to use things that are years ago. But it really doesn't matter how far back it is. It really just matters like if it's been mitigated or ran through a lot. And sometimes it does matter how recent it is, just because something that I said before, and I'll say here is uh, recent value will always be like something that's a while ago, and that's mostly because conditions and emotional factors. So the sentiment, something like from a year ago, obviously isn't going to be the same today. So the recent auction participants are going to behave the same. So anything that's more recent will work a bit better um, than something that's much like maybe from 3 years ago. But obviously, sometimes you don't have a choice but to use that thing from 3 years ago. So
Oh, what's your name? Gian? Yes. I didn't get my levels off the TPO. It's just kind of like, it just gives me the bias. That's about it. I don't really use it for any levels. Though, again, I have seen that many people go on the higher time frame, like the weekly TPO, and they just mark out the extremes. Like, for example, I kind of just give it to you guys. Let me see if I can go back. Yeah, hold up. Oh, CX. Just give me a sec. Let me show Gian something. Do you see here, like, for example, this is a balance. I marked out the extreme at the top. And you can see how we just kind of like bottom tick, and then top tick. A bunch of lows and highs. Kind of like confirming the level. And then down here again, the extreme. So it's a ledge. At first we kind of ran through it, but then this time we kind of bottom ticked, and now we're going to reverse. But again, you don't want to take these just blindly. You need confirmation from the DOM, footprint, bookmap. The extremes are the edges of the balance. Let me get my pen out real quick so I can show you guys. Alright, so Kian, look. So this is like a profile, right? The edges or extremes of the balance would be up here or down here. That's the extremes. Oh, you guys are right. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can change that. Alright, there we go. Okay, back to what I was saying, Kian. Just a profile, and then extremes or edges of the profile is over here, but you're looking at for shelves, ledges, and that's what you're using for extremes. And then you take trades off it. So like, let's say we open here, we range a little bit, we come down. Let's say this was a shelf. You got confirmation like DOM or footprint. You could long all the way up to here, or you would just get like maybe stop break even. We might just start chopping. But you guys gotta do your data collection on that. Oh, let's see. What do you use to what?
I use multiple things for, I guess you could say, my draw. It's really just targets, or POIs. Mostly I guess you could say market profile, but there's a few other things that I use too. You can also use like volume profile, for context as well.
Ang or whatever. I'm sorry, but the TPO. I mean, it has its pros and cons against like the volume profile, but I think again, I would recommend using it as like more of a bias giver than for levels. And then the footprint or the DOM, that's like a different kind of subject, to be honest. That's more of a confirmation. Oh, CX, you wanted an example. Let me go on the daily. Alright, CX, when you wanted the example, so let's say right here, right? I think price opened somewhere in here, and we have this poor low right here, so this would have been a point of interest. And again, you don't use these as like a level for us to reject. It most likely will get ran through. You would see if you had like an extreme right here, for example, this ledge right there could have been a level. So this would have been like if you shorted up here. Let's move this real quick. This was extreme, right? Touch the extreme, and we go back to the bottom of extreme. Your take profit could have been right here, partials, and then full take profit. And then if you saw like confirmation on the DOM, you could have longed this all the way up to this other poor high and played ping pong. It's fairly simple. Alright, so yeah, Nandi, you got the idea. TPO, using the TPO is kind of discretionary. Again, you need to see what works for you, because what might work for you or might not work for others. Let's see. No, I don't use these. Oh, guys, hold up. Give me a sec. My fault. My mom called me. She got hella pissed I didn't answer her. Oh,
It's okay.
Back to what I was saying. Fuck. Alright. I don't use these balances at all, to be honest. Because you could see. Where is it? It's a clear example. Val low is right here and val high is right here, but the extremes are up here and down here. They don't align, so I don't use the val high and val low. And I don't use the POC because sometimes it's really unreliant. You want to just use the DOM to confirm it, but most of the times it just gets ran through. Let's see what else. Is there any more questions? Dirk,
Was good, Twin.
did you answer Clay's question?
Which one?
Here, helping you.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't see this. Can you clarify that a little bit more? Like, what do you like? They can, yeah. I guess like one profile could have an extreme there, and then one profile could have an LV in there. They can overlap, yeah. Some people, I think, do like to use things like that. I guess it just provides a little bit more confluence into your level, I guess. I personally don't use things like that. But yeah, it could.
Low volume node. TPO is really simple, man. There's like it's nothing to explain. So is VWAP. I mean, I could show you guys what VWAP is right now. It's so simple. You're just talking about deviation bands. And like, what do you want to
VWAP
see?
sauce, bro. VWAP sauce. If you know, you know.
Bro, Dirk, hold up.
I get it.
No.
I'm in
Wait,
the
Dirk,
know.
are your deviation bands sauce?
Nah, somebody leaked
know.
them. Mammoth leaked them, and then everyone used them.
It's
No.
an NDA somehow.
No, what's his name? Stopped leaked them.
Who? No, no,
Stop.
no.
No,
I don't
Michael
think
would
he
never
It's in
do
his
leaked
YouTube
that.
them.
video. It's in his
no,
YouTube video.
Mammoth sent
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Mammoth sent it in NT like months ago, like at the start of the year, and then after that, once I came back after my break, every motherfucker was using the same deviations. I use it a little bit different now, but they're still relatively the same. So, but not.
Wait,
that's
did you
my
find
stance.
that? Like the deviations?
Yeah, but there's some indicators with the same values, anyways. So it don't matter. You just have to know how to use it. You have to understand like what, like there's more to VWAP into actually utilizing it properly than just using it as a level. Like there's what actually there's you need to understand how it's calculated and where it comes from in order to be able to use it correctly and actually like get really good trades with it. I mean, you can obviously get really good trades with it just playing off of like a deviation with the level, I guess, but there's a little more to it when it comes to like context and understanding why.
All right. Anything else?
I got none.
Yeah. I mean, TPO is so simple. There's not much to it.
What's that? What'd you say? Oh, clue. Oh, yo, who's this?
It's some like ICT standard deviation.
What the
trader.
Oh, I
fuck?
know this guy.
It's in every. It's
Yo,
like it's in every server now.
yo, how the hell? Yo, I've never seen anyone use my values like those ones. That's crazy. Is that like the default of the indicator or not? Let me check.
It's not. It's like he has a whole like
Damn.
channel with VWAP,
Yo,
and that's just it.
Who the fuck? Oh,
Low volume node. You shouldn't be using. I don't think you should be using 1, 2, or 3. I mean, 2 is fine, but
Wait, use one. One's actually good.
I mean,
Like
this
you
is
can actually
like,
reverse of one.
but it's just like for what's it called? For overbought or oversold. No.
I mean, like if you can just
yeah,
use it to
yeah,
find
yeah.
reactions of.
Yeah, I'd avoid trading within. So I can kind of explain a little bit. But basically, like it's basically a bell curve visualized on the chart. A little differently, just as lines, I guess. So really, you should be avoid taking trades around like the normal VWAP, or within like the first standard deviation, because I guess that's like the value area high and value area low. Um, but you can still play like off of it, but I would just avoid trading in it because typically a bit more choppy and lower probability.
Dude, honestly, should we just go through VWAP? Because like it's so simple, and then we have to make a separate class for that.
I mean, you could.
All right, I'll make a pool. Let's see if fuck ass Jane's let me make one.
Nah, AJ's accent is mid. I can't lie.
Yeah, when's the next giveaway, Dirk? When is stopped hosting that?
Dude, when he gets a payout, I'll probably host it before
Oh.
he gets a payout though. He'll probably get one soon, but I'll probably host one soon again.
All right.
No, I guess we're gonna explain VWAP.
All right.
I take a close my tab so we don't get the VWAP sauce.
Oh yeah. Chill.
All right, let's see. To start off first, I use chart session VWAP. A lot of people like to use regular session, but the only reason why I use chart is because there's a little more data. If you use regular session, you get like a little bit of data, and it's a lot better to use chart. To be, in my opinion, you guys can like do
Yeah.
your own
Yeah.
investigation. But
Especially for everyone who trades RTH Open, when you're trying to like trade within like catch a trade within the first 10 minutes or something, usually you don't have enough on the VWAP to actually get a good trade off of. Usually we'll just like grind on a band or something for a bit at RTH Open. So definitely use a full day one.
yeah, all right. So first off, again, Derek already explained this. You don't want to be trading around this median. This is kind of like the POC. We're just consolidating in here. You want to play until we kind of like come to the second, or should I just say that? Can I say the deviations, Dirk? Should I just say them?
Yeah.
You guys want to be waiting until we come to the second deviation, or you could do all the way up to 2.5. For me, when I'm looking for like big trades, I kind of wait for price to go all the way to 2.5, maybe go a little lower, and if I have a level lined up with it, and I get a DOM confirmation, I can hold sometimes all the way up to the next deviation. But depending on how we go through the median, it's either I'll go, I'll just take my take profits at the median, or just hold all the way. But something you can like I use to tell if we're gonna go all the way up to the other deviation bands is if how price reacts when we reach the median. If we kind of displace through the median and then come back down and use that as like support, like for example right here, I'm most definitely holding all the way up to the second or 2.5 deviation bands. But if like price kind of just struggles, like we're just kind of putting a bunch of highs in here. So like for example, come down here, just consolidate. When we finally reach the median, we're going a little over, and then again we're just making a bunch of highs. I'll most likely cut the trade off. Just because if we can't pass the median, we're most likely going to come back down again for support, and then try again. Let's see what else. You guys can also just use VWAP and DOM. That's what a lot of people do. So like for example, right here, if you had a DOM confirmation, you could have longed all the way to the median. And again, if you saw like what I said, we kind of displaced through it and then use as support the median. You can expect us to go all the way up to the other deviations. But again, it's not like 100% win rate or anything. Sometimes we won't go all the way up to the top. Like example right here, we kind of did displace a little bit, used the median for support, and what's it called? And we tried to go all the way to the deviations. Let's see. When I take trades, sometimes my partials again end up being the median. We tend to chop around there, and that's really about it. That's about it for VWAP. Again, you don't want to use VWAP when we're trending like this. Just trending or downtrending. You can see we're constantly like grinding on the 2.5 deviation bands, and we're not reversing or anything. So it's just best to wait until we're kind of like in a range. So like right here, that's where it plays out best. But yeah, that's about it for VWAP. Dirk, Yash, you got anything for that? Anything else you want to add on?
I got none.
No, muffle for
I
caps.
got nothing.
All right, you guys got any questions for VWAP? Samo, it's up to you. It's discretionary. Again, if you want to use TPO, then use it. If you don't like it, if you see like you use it and your win rate goes down, you could just not use it. Again, that's what just like what works for me. I use the TPO for biases, and that's really it. Let's see. All right, AJ, I'll let you speak, but you can't be fucking around.
Yeah, I really don't want to listen to this guy, bro.
I gotta give him a chance, bro. The first deviation, I think, isn't worth it. I think
AJ, it's your bedtime. It's time to sleep.
Bro, it's not. It's literally not.
Dan or Dan, James is recording this. You can look to our YouTube channel and you can watch the video from the beginning, so you can see how we get bias from the TPO. Yeah, again, if you can align your volume profile levels with the VWAP, and then you get DOM confirmation, you're solid. You're gonna like little by little you'll turn profitable like that. It's fairly simple. Again, just another example. let's say you had a level on the volume profile, like let's say like this, right? I would have waited to this 2.5 deviation band gets hit, and then if we saw some, actually, I held this overnight. Let me see if I can forward this to you guys. It's a trade I took. What's it called? Well, I had a level down here, and then I saw also we were in the 2.5 deviation band, and I most definitely knew we were gonna come all the way up here because we had failed at first. But after I kind of saw this, we kind of displaced and came back up here. I kind of just knew. It's just like if you collect data, you'll be able to tell when price will do something or not. But let me show you guys the entry I had. Bro, Buggity, when you have more experience, you'll be able to tell when things happen or whatnot. Look, you guys can see here, it's almost like from the bottom of the 2.5 deviation band all the way up to my next level. That was kind of extreme to extreme. Heaven, you want to explain standard deviation? Yo, should we let Heaven talk?
Yeah, let him in. Let him in.
Are you getting switched out, AJ?
Bro, no.
Alright, I invited him to speak. You're good, Clay. This is kind of like the point of the server. Just help people out so you guys understand. We're not here to clown on you unless you're an actual bot. Kian, yeah, you can. You just can't get it to I guess to the exact point. You're just gonna have to use 2 and 2.5.
I low-key just use the trading view one. The quant hour is just so bad.
No, the same. Heaven,
I
my
mean-
course for you. My course is $50.
Wait, do
One
you
time.
have a course? Do you have a course?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's alright.
Yes, he does. It's secret. That's how I
Yeah.
get my levels. Like he posts his levels in the course, and I just copy them.
Yeah, but he just uses my yeah. He actually has his own private server, and sometimes I just go in it and I just take his levels and then just impersonate him.
All right, bro.
Bro, I at least know 20 people taking Yash levels. It's.
I've actually never seen. I've never seen no one takes any levels.
Bro, I don't use levels at all.
I don't think no one even looks at the analysis, to be honest.
No one, not one person looks at that.
Bro, I just look at analysis for my own bias, bro. Because my
I
Kian,
don't even know why I send it. I get nothing from posting analysis.
yeah, 16. You're right. My fault.
Nah, but levels, people do use levels, so very
Yo,
often.
Ange, you really don't. You don't want to mess with Heaven, bro. You don't want to mess with Heaven. Heaven basically is my dad right now.
If anyone wants Heaven Leaks, I got you. $5 is in my arms. I got you.
All right, see you, Heaven. All right, guys. I guess that's it. Hold up, DD. Doesn't matter if you find shelves on them. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what time frame you find them on, as long as it follows. It kind of falls into the criteria of AMT using the extremes. Yeah, of course. The video is gonna get posted maybe in an hour because Jane's got a shitty computer. Didi, you should watch my volume profile video. I go through shelves, ledges, basically everything with the volume profile. Same with you, Ange. If you because I saw you were talking about. I don't know if it was you. Someone was talking about shelves and all that. About how they're just starting. Alright, guys, I'm a dip. See you guys later. If you guys have any
Right.
questions, just DM me. My DMs are always open. And yeah. Alright, see you guys.
Bye.